Hey guys, this is our season 1, episode 3. Lecky and Avi, how you going?
Hey.
So today we're just going to have a bit more of a chat about what Pro Physio Plus looks like, our vision and what we're looking to expand to, and just everything in general, and just give you a bit of an insight of what we're just going to be looking forward to and what's coming up. So hopefully that gives you a bit of an idea, and yeah, join us on the journey.
Absolutely. What we're looking to build is a health model to help the community, but at the same time offer more options for people to help improve their health. So to you that might mean one thing, to me it might mean another, to Avi totally different. So this is something that we're building now. So we're going to try and keep it very general, and not general, but very big picture. So we're going to take a step back and look at the macro picture, and Avi and I will just describe what this kind of picture looks like.
Yeah, so there's a lot going on, a lot of different ideas that were being pitched. So pretty much going to keep it pretty straightforward and just give you just a straight, like what locations we're sort of looking at and what the main goal is in maybe in next year or next couple of years, and then hopefully go from there.
Yep. So our guiding light, right, is just keeping things really simple. So our tagline is making healthy simple, right? And so something that's complicated to me may be simple to you, but if you were to explain it to me in a simple way, then I can grasp that complex idea. So for example, Avi's gone through and done some training. There could be some lifts that look really complicated, but if you chunk it down and break it into specific activation exercises, and instead of doing 100 million different exercises, you can focus on the key 3 or the big 3, then it can really help you achieve your goals. If, for example, you're looking to lose weight and there's a lot of people that have lots of different opinions on it, it could be overwhelming. But if there's something that's explained to you in a simple manner that makes sense to you and me, because we're all simple people, then again, it'll make it actionable for you, because what you heard made sense to you, so you can move forward, get momentum, and action that particular food plan so that you can lose some weight and get shredded for the summer. So I guess in terms of making healthy simple, what we're looking to do is apply this sickness versus wellness model. And again, that's a general term, but the way we're going to position it is, if you get acutely sore, you present to a medical center because you're sick. You know, you got a cough, you got a cold, your sinuses are all blocked up, you got a fever. So also, if you have an injury, if you got an acute injury, you bung your shoulder up, you usually present to the doctor or someone that you think may help. What we're wanting to do though is offer a service in this sickness model, and then at the same time, walk you through this journey so you can get back to wellness. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And just going back on the making healthy simple point, just because when you understand something, the chances of you actually doing that is a lot higher than not doing it. So like, giving myself for an example, if I find something like I don't understand it, I usually just leave it at the back end and don't worry about it until I really have to. But if I understand it and have a good knowledge, grasp it, especially with exercises and stuff, and I'm like, oh yeah, I see why this works and why I have a good understanding of it, I'm gonna do it. It'll be like at the front instead of at the back of the mothership. Wouldn't you agree there?
Yeah, absolutely. So in looking at the big picture here, right now our practices are within medical centers, okay? So this is a plug and play model. We have physio clinics that are set up within a medical center. So if we position medical centers as sickness centers, and that's not in a bad way, it's just if you're acutely sick, that's where you're going to go, either the medical center or the hospital, right? So we call the medical centers the sickness center. And if we have physio clinics within medical centers, then we can be there at the front line to help get you back into good health, okay? So right now, our strategy, this thing that we're building right now, is a satellite sort of situation. So if you think of satellites in a particular area, hopefully you can read my squiggle there. So in the west here, we have 3 satellite clinics, okay? And we have a clinic in Truganina, one in Point Cook, and another one established a bit further away in Kyneton, and we got some more news coming up down the track. But if we have a footprint of 5 to 7 satellite clinics in the sickness centre or the medical centres, then we can have a footprint there where in this particular geography, we're looking to establish one central wellness centre. So we're looking to position this wellness centre around these medical centres. And what we're looking to do is, in a medical centre, you've been to the clinic, you know, there's not much room there, there's only so much that we can offer. And as you improve and you want to improve your health further, then this standalone wellness centre is the dream. It's the goal of where we're trying to get towards. It's where we're going to be rowing the boat towards. And so right now we're in sort of a phase 1 where we're establishing the footprint, and we've got some great news coming up shortly. And I think if we are working towards this standalone clinic, that's the good news that we want to share with you, because we do great work in where we are now, currently in this medical centre / sickness centre model, but it's also with the added dream and advantage of offering more services down the track. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Makes great sense, actually. So coming in from my point of view, so I've sort of come in, just started with Lecky this year, and just coming in and seeing what the bigger picture is has made me look forward to it even more. And the way he speaks about it, speaks very highly of it, and it's made me actually want to get it right now. But you just got to be patient, because you got to establish those footprints first. Because if you're not doing a good job there's no point making that big standalone clinic, because who's going to come there if you're not happy, if the people you're seeing aren't happy with how you're doing all the work. So that's a good point that Lecky raised with me in the early days. He's like, do a good job here, and everyone will be happy with you, and they'll want to come back and actually do more. And that's where the wellness centre comes in. So because we'll be have more stuff around the wellness centre, have more people around with different strengths and weak strengths, and then you can we'll have strengths. What else are we looking at? What are the couple of things we're looking at?
Yep. So the way that I see this wellness centre, right, is my particular passion. I want this for a place where people who are providing services are passionate about that one or two key thing that they're interested in, right? So as you guys may know, I'm really big on longevity. I want to live in good health, so I have a perspective on chronic disease management. So my particular interest as let's say a longevity physiotherapist that's the services that I'll supply. So if you're looking at understanding your blood markers, if you're starting to notice aches and pains, you're not just your normal self, and you've already been through the merry-go-round of your standard medical service, I'm not bagging them, it's just the way the model is working, then the information that we can supply and the services we can supply is in that particular field. It may involve appropriate stress management strategies, and maybe looking at your nutrition, and maybe looking at other things to help with improving your chances of longevity. So I'm purposely trying to keep it general because I don't want to go down the rabbit hole, but that's my passion, for example. And Avi's passions?
Yeah, my passion's mainly strength. So if you get a stronger body, what I feel there's more you can do with everything, everyday life. You don't have to be like lifting heavy weights, just strong within your body. So that's what my passion is. So I'll be really striving towards just like exercise prescription, just smashing out, teaching the correct technique for like the big lifts, which I learned, and some activation tools that you can use before, and that helps a lot. And like a great man, Andrew Locke, said, to get mobility, you need stability. So with that's a big key. So activations comes a big point in there, and that way you'll be moving around a lot better, pain-free, and you'll be able to do lifts and do because the main lifts you do like deadlifts and all that, that's pretty much everyday stuff, because you're lifting stuff up from the ground, pretty much doing a deadlift or a squat. And then, so just learning the correct technique to that, you can incorporate it into like everyday life. So that's why my passion in that sort of area comes in.
Yep. So imagine that you have this one-stop shop, right? So I'm imagining a place that's kind of like, say, a Dermot 24/7. Not like the big massive one in Caroline Springs, but sizable, right? So it's a standalone, sizable space. And in that space, there's going to be a place where you can go and lift heavy things, train and do the resistance training that you want, okay? So imagine a space that has that area. Then there'll be an area where we can have it spaced off as an open sort of floor space. And that could be for, say, mat exercises on the floor. It could be for a yoga class, yoga practice. It could be for community dance groups that we can have you come in and use this space for free if you like. Come by and have a good community feel. There'll be treatment rooms in there. There'll be other things that we can look to offer, like infrared, like light therapy and cryotherapy, and look at it as a recovery center. So for acute athletes, weekend warriors, for elite athletes, if they're looking for something regional where they can go in and recover, this is the space that we're looking to offer those services. So right now, I'm not a cryotherapy specialist. I'm not a technician. I can't freeze you with the liquid nitrogen. But imagine if there is someone on the team that is, Imagine if there's someone that's a yoga, I have my own yoga practice, but I can't teach it, I don't teach it. But if someone was offering, really good yoga, I'd be up for it because it's what I sync with. If someone's really giving you effective treatment through movement in some strength training classes, okay, and also there'll be treatment rooms within the wellness center there, so that we can continue with the physiotherapy care. Okay, so right now we're throwing ideas on the board, but you can kind of see what we're trying to shape with the putty here, and that's kind of like the stage 2, stage 3 down the track. And I think it's important that Avi and I and potential team members that join us in this journey as we're building this thing together, it'll be rewarding for everyone because the community are wanting this sort of services. There's a bit of a shortage of this sort of thing out here in the West. There's these sort of higher end things closer into the city, which is fair enough. But, I think if there's something that we do really well and the people really want it, then it'll work. The belief is there. Because
we don't really have a one-stop shop in pretty much, when you look in the western suburbs, I don't really see something similar to a wellness centre around, especially our area. Because there's a couple maybe towards the city and the other side of the city because there's a lot more bigger population, but we're growing, so might as well make the stand now and get something like that, because if you go do some exercise and then after you feel a bit sore, a bit tired, you want to go somewhere to get that rehabbed, or you want to get it checked out, or you want to just go in like the ice bath or like a cryo room and just feel better afterwards, because sometimes if you carry that niggle around, might go into a bigger injury. And we also just might have like a nice cafe or something down there as well. Hey.
Oh geez, you got to keep it open. I'm a coffee guy.
Yeah.
So who knows? It could be whatever we want it and you want it to be. So we'd be open to feedback. This is a conversation that we're going to have regularly because it's a big driving passion for both of us. So don't get us wrong. We enjoy being where we are, but it's also in the context of building this bigger thing. So from a physio perspective, I think it's a really good thing for, say, incoming students who have just recently graduated, because you do want to get the experience of dealing with people. So in that context, it's really good to learn in the traditional sickness center model. And then as you improve your skills and you start to really help a lot of people and you narrow down your focus on what you really want to specialize in, sure, we can help you in progressing your passion so that, let's say, after a couple of years of experience, then you can move and practice in the wellness center, pushing your particular specialty. So I think that's where it feeds itself, because you can come in, do the thing that you're really interested in and then pursue it. And, this is going to be something that the community gets a lot of benefit in because they get the acute care. So I hope you're liking my drawings, but so look at it as like a value ladder. So you come in at the bottom, you're sick, you're unwell, you get the immediate rehab that you need. And generally, most people that we've observed in this sickness center model, this is sort of where they start and finish, okay?
Definitely.
Where we want to go from is we want to start climbing the rungs of the ladder and introduce more exercises, more strength training. So it greatly reduces the chance of you getting wounded in the future, okay? So that hip problem doesn't become a back pain and your back blows up, okay? As you start to feel better, you start asking questions about what's on your plate, the food that's in your pantry, and then you want to get some more advice on maybe diet plan or, trying to lose some weight. Okay, and then as you keep improving and your life improves, you're feeling really good, maybe you want some pointers on some dodgy blood markers, or maybe your sleep's cactus, or maybe you're really stressed out and you're trying to figure out a way that you can get rid of a lot of the noise. That sort of whole spectrum care within the health model is where you get to being healthy, and where that sickness center versus wellness center model is what Avi and I are passionate about.
sure. And yeah, just sitting back on the point about the medical centre. So I joined up straight into a medical centre coming out of uni. So it was different to what I had pictured, especially when I had finished uni. I was leading towards a hospital path, and then yeah, because that's what we were taught at uni and that's what we're prepared for. And then yeah, then later just got the job, met Lecky, got the job here, and then pretty much haven't looked back since. Like at the first, I didn't really like the medical centre vibe. I was like, I want to work in a clinic. I want to get use all the flash equipment and do all these kind of different exercise groups and all that stuff. But it's actually made me learn that the people that come in here, most of them have like chronic conditions and have been carrying on, have multiple injuries, not like just one certain, like you do your hammy, they come in, rehab it, and then they never come back. Whereas these guys have had like overload from stress, they've had like mental, like 2-3 like accidents and stuff from work cover and all that. So I'm just trying to rehab that, and then when it comes to those smaller injuries, I can bang through it straight away. And I don't think you get that as much in like those bigger clinics, because most of them are private patients, whereas here we're getting a lot of work cover, TAC patients, EPCs, so Medicare, and yeah, and they've been carrying those niggles for ages. So that's why I'm really happy I came in this area. And then we got the long goal, which has just made it a whole lot better. So that's my view on it. And yeah, if you young guys that are just finishing up, it'd be a great opportunity for you guys to look into and get great experience from like one of the best in the West.
That might be a new tagline. And I didn't pay Harvey to say that, so he's giving us a big pat on the back. But that's true. I think my perspective here is when you are open to seeing a whole spectrum of different people that are needing help. They're sick. Yeah, if you see the weekend warrior that did pull their hammy playing footy, yeah, sure, they're sick. They just copped an injury, a fresh one. But imagine if you're seeing someone that's 50 years old, they just lost their job and they have 3 or 4 different chronic conditions, and they do come in with this weird leg pain. You may see it as a simple hamstring injury, but it's actually a lot more into that. So you'd have to work on the way that you empathize with people, your communication skills, the way that you introduce rehab protocols, trying to engage people to do some homework and get themselves strong and fit and well and happy again. And that way, as you progress with your career, then you can really speak to people quite well. So let me just pause this. You can edit this, I hope. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so it's real life stuff. So we had a little interruption there. So where I was coming from was, I think that this whole model of the sickness center versus wellness center is consistent because people who have acute care, they just need any form of help. The students, they're really wanting to help as much as they can and learn. And then as you improve your skills, and if you are a person trying to improve your health, then just like that ladder I showed you earlier, we can climb the ladder together so that we're all happy and well, and there's a wider community. If we're going really well, then we can improve as a society. So it's very philosophical, I know, but it all comes back down to just making healthy simple. So early on, we start with simple things, and then as you improve, your awareness improves, so then we can introduce some other things that once upon a time may have seemed complicated. So that's the whole big spiel there.
Yeah, so pretty much Leckie's covered it pretty well. Not much to add from my end, but just yes, a lot coming in, but we just got to take it step by step, because if you take the jump too early, you might just fall back crumbling down. So don't really want that. So
no, we don't.
So we just wanted to give you more of an insight of like what the bigger picture is, and want you guys on our journey as well, because yeah, yous make us really.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so yeah.
We are you.
Yeah.
So well, that's it. We'll sign off. This is season 1, episode 3,
yeah.
And we'll give you guys sort of every so often we'll touch base and let you know what the updates are. Harvey almost let the cat out the bag. There is some exciting news coming up, but we'll drop that down the track. So keep an eye out for us. Making healthy simple.